friends, today we start with the lesson number 3. There is a motion in a straight line. Now, what is motion? See, the simplest definition is a change in position. With time is called. Now, this is a generalized definition. This is a generalized definition. We know we see a number of objects moving around us. See, a car is moving, a two-wheeler is moving. We know the earth also moves around the sun. So, in this lesson, we'll have a broad discussion regarding the motion. Now, here we have to study motion in a straight line. See, that is called rectilinear motion. Motion in a straight line is called rectilinear. Motion in a straight line is called rectilinear motion. Now, see, to describe the motion in a broad sense, we have a concept of a point-like object. Sometimes it is called particle. Now we know the most of the cases, see the dimension of the object in motion or the moving object is less, or I say very less compared to distance covered. So that's why in a broad sense, all object moving around us, we consider the point-like object. For a simple example, see a car is moving. Let us say the car covers 10 km distance. Now, see what about the dimension of the car? See, the dimension of car will be very less compared to 10 km. So in that sense, see, a car can be considered as a point-like object. So that's why most of the motion follow this criteria. So, to describe motion easily, we consider a motion of a point-like object. Now, see the branch of the physics in which the motion is studied without describing cause of the motion is called kinematics. Branch of the physics in which motion is studied without describing cause of motion is called kinematics. Okay? So the branch of the physics in which motion is studied without describing cause of the motion is called kinematics. Now, see, generally when we consider motion in a straight line, we have one dimension or two dimension motion. Suppose we have only one coordinate changes, then it is one dimension motion. Now, if two coordinate changes, then it is two dimension motion. For example, in vacation when we play carom, now there is a with striker, we strike this object, okay, then two coordinates will change, that will be two dimension motion. And the three dimension motion, see a butterfly is flying in the room, is an example of three dimension motion. Now right now we have to consider motion in one dimension. Now whenever we attach clock with the one dimension or two dimension or three dimension motion, then it becomes a reference frame. Okay, whenever we attach clock to the motion in object or our coordinate axis, then it becomes frame of reference. See, there are two types of frame of reference. One is an inertial reference frame and second is a non-inertial Now see more regarding this inertial and non-inertial reference frame. We'll study in a subsequent topics. Now right now we considered one dimension motion. So we assume that the clock is attached to our one dimension reference frame. Okay. Now so in that case we have a broad definition of motion. Whenever an object changes its position with respect to another object or reference point or reference frame with time, okay. So whenever an object changes its position with respect to another object or a reference point or a reference frame with time, it is said to be in motion. So to describe the motion we require two things. One is object in motion and second is a reference frame. Sometimes we call origin. Okay. Now whenever an object changes its position with respect to another object or a reference point with time, it is said to be motion. So to describe the motion we require two things. One is an object in motion, a reference frame or origin or reference point. Now we take a very simple example to describe the motion. Now suppose a car is moving on the road. Now see a person is sitting inside the car, let us say A. Now see another person is B, which is on the earth or ground. Okay. Now when let us say car move in this direction. Now when we take the reference point as B, A is in motion. Why? Here the reference frame is earth or a ground, which is a stationary object. Now, but suppose we take a moving car as a reference frame, then the person sitting in the car will be stationary. Why? Because both are moving in the same direction. Or we say, in that case, if we take the person sitting in the car as a reference frame, B will be stationary. So it depends in which condition motion is observed. So that's why motion is a collective property of object in motion and observer or reference point. Okay, motion is a collective property of object in motion and observer or a reference point. Now whenever we have to describe the motion of an object, we should know about its position, then distance, displacement, speed, velocity, etc. Now in this lesson we have to describe motion in one dimension. So generally we consider one dimension, that is x-axis, as our reference axis. Now let us say x is equal to 0 is nothing but origin. Now we can take any point as an origin, but when we consider origin of the coordinate axis as a reference point, then our description becomes very easy. Now here we have to study one dimension motion. Now let us say we consider number line. We are familiar with which we have studied earlier in the standard 8 or 9 standard. Now let us say this is x is equal to 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 meter. Now see the position right to the origin are considered positive and left to the origin are considered negative. Now let us say, see x is equal to 0, origin for simplicity we consider as a reference point. Now let us say the object is at t is equal to 0, that is x is equal to 0. Now let us say it moves in the rightward direction to B and finally comes back to point C. So we say it moves in A, B, C direction. Now see, this may be our initial position, that xi. Now here we describe the motion in x direction, so the initial position we consider as xi. Now and C is the final position, that is xf. Now we have to calculate distance and displacement. Now what is distance? Path covered by object in given time interval is called distance. See, it is also called path length. Okay, so what is distance? Path covered by object in motion in given time interval is called position or a distance or a path length. Now next is displacement. Now displacement is change in position. Change in position of object in given time interval is called displacement. Now displacement is the shortest distance between 2 points. Displacement is shortest distance between 2 points. Now the path length can be obtained by the distance formula. Okay, dxy we used to write mode of x minus y. Okay, and the displacement is given by the shortest distance, that is a formula. Change in position, displacement is given as xf minus xi. Xf is the final position, xi is the initial position. Now see, in this case, let us calculate distance and displacement. Now we know the object has moved in ABC path. Now the distance covered in that case or a path length is, what is the distance covered here? From A to B, that is AB, and finally B to C, then BC. So distance here is AB plus BC. Now the distance formula we have studied earlier is mode of x minus y. See, x and y are the 2 points. Okay. Now here the distance is AB plus BC. Now what is the number correspond to A? Is 0. And number correspond to B is 60. Again, number correspond to B is 60. And number correspond to C is 30. Now let us say x we consider is in meter. Okay. Okay. So the distance here is 90 meters. Now what about the displacement? Is xf minus xi. Now displacement, as we have seen, is the shortest distance between 2 points. Now what is the number correspond to final position? C, that is 30. And what is number corresponding to initial position? A is 0. Okay, so we can see the difference between distance and displacement. One thing we have to keep in mind is the distance is a scalar quantity. Distance is always positive. displacement is a vector quantity. Okay. Now see, the quantity which require only magnitude or a value to describe it is called a scalar quantity, and the quantity which require both magnitude and direction is called a vector quantity. See, the distance, if the motion occurs, then the distance is always positive. Now, displacement can be 0, positive or negative. Okay, so there is a difference. Now, again we see what is distance. That is a path covered by the object in given time interval is called the distance or a path length, whereas the displacement is change in position of the object in given time interval. Okay. Now, displacement, we have to remember, is the shortest distance between 2 points. Distance is a scalar quantity. Displacement is a vector quantity. Now, this is regarding the distance and displacement. Now we take one more example in which we can calculate distance and displacement. Now, see here, we will be talking of rectilinear motion. So each part of the motion will be a straight line. Let us say a simple example can be seen like this. Now we are familiar with the direction, that is east and west, north and south. Now let us say an object start from the origin. See, here we consider two-dimensional motion. Okay. Now let us say at x is equal to 0 is here, that is origin. See, object is at A. Now it moves 6 meters in the eastward direction to point B. Then it moves in the north direction for 8 meters and finally reaches to C. Now what we can say, see, initial position xi is at A, that is our origin. Now, and xf is position C. Okay, xf, that is the final position. Now in this case, we have to calculate distance and displacement. Now see, distance here is path length. Okay, that will be AB plus BC. Now AB is given as 6 meters, BC is given as 8. Okay, what you can see, distance is 14 meters. Now the displacement. Now displacement, we know the shortest distance between 2 points. See, here our initial position is A and the final position is C. So what we can see, the AC is the shortest distance between 2 points. So in that case, see, we have studied earlier Pythagoras theorem. What we see is a right angle triangle. So displacement here is nothing but AB square plus BC square. Okay, AB is 6 meters. Okay, so this is how we can calculate distance and displacement. We can have as many number of examples. Let us say, consider motion like this. Okay, now this will be a circular motion, but here also we can calculate distance and displacement. Let us say R is the radius of the circle, A, B, C and D. Okay. Now let us say the object or a particle moves on okay. Now here we have to calculate distance and displacement at each point. Now let us say we can write position or a point. Now see the object has started from A. Okay, that is initial position. It has moved to B. So we have to calculate path length AB. Now we know, see this is a circular path. In the 10th standard you studied about arc of a circle. You had a formula like this: pi r theta, length of the arc is, let's say length of the arc is pi r theta upon 180. Or we can say is a 1/4 of a circle. See what is the formula for the circumference of a circle? Okay, circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. Okay, circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. Now this is 1/4 of the circumference, so that is 1/4 into 2 pi r. So that will make pi r by 2. Okay. Now the displacement, as we have discussed, displacement is the shortest distance between 2 points. So in that case, this straight line will be the displacement between A and B. Now this we can calculate by, again, this angle we know it is 90 degree. So we can say it is under root r square plus r square, that is root 2r. So the displacement is. Okay. Now the object moves to C further. Now what will be the path length with respect to A? See, this will be 1/4 of a, half of the circle. So that will be 1/2 of 2 pi r. Okay. And the displacement between A and C is the shortest distance. We know this will be again a straight line like this. Okay. We know AC is the diameter of the circle, length is 2r, so this is 2r. Now the object moves further, proceed to D, or D to D, Now the total path length will be again AC plus CD, okay, that is pi r by 2 plus pi r, okay, so that is pi r by 2 plus pi r, that is 3 pi r. Okay. Now displacement. Okay. Remember, displacement has nothing to do with the path followed. It connects only initial and final position. Now see, when we talk of the point D, what is our initial point? A. And what is our final point? B. So this AD will be a straight line again. This is similar to AB, you know, again it is a hypotenuse, so displacement will be root. See, it has moved to A, B, C, D, and finally reaches to A. So what is the distance covered? Now distance covered is equal to the circumference of the circle, that is equal to 2 pi r. Okay. Now what about the displacement? See, it is started from A, finally reaches to A again. What we see here, the initial position and final position are same. So in that case, displacement will be same. This is how we can study distance and displacement. Okay. Now dear friends, we have seen about the difference between path length and displacement. Now see, for any of the motion in the straight line, see, we have to remember that the ratio of displacement to path length okay. Now see, when the displacement and the path length will be equal, see, when the object moves in only in one dimension or one direction and do not return, then the displacement and path length will be equal. So this is what we have seen about the distance and the displacement. Now next is we have to see about the speed and velocity. Okay, now see the ratio of path length or distance and time interval is called. Okay, so we can have a simple formula. Speed is path length or distance upon time interval. Now, see, whenever we come across new quantity, we have to ask for the unit and dimension. See, the speed is unit will be, see, the length is in meter, then sometimes we represent distance in kilometer and time in hour, then it can be kilometer per hour. Okay, now next is the velocity. Ratio of displacement and time interval is called. Okay, ratio of displacement and time interval is called velocity. See, speed is ratio of path length and time interval, whereas the velocity is ratio of displacement and time interval. So we can say velocity is displacement now suppose we start observing motion from t is equal to 0, then see the displacement is xf minus xi, time t is equal to 0 we consider 0, and the velocity is xf minus xi upon t minus 0. So in that case we can write xf minus xi upon t, or vt is xf minus xi. So the final position xi is, see, this will be an useful equation we will use later on, but for generalized formula, velocity is change in position upon time, that is a displacement upon time interval. Now we take example based on this. Now let us say at t is equal to 0, object is at A, it moves to B. Now to move from A to B, let us say it takes 6 seconds. Now it comes back finally to C. From B to C, let us say it takes 8 seconds. Okay? Now in the question we have to find out, first we will find out distance, then we will find out speed also, we calculate displacement also and velocity also. Now first we start with the distance or path length. Now see, the path length or distance here is, see, it moves from A to B and finally reaches to C. So distance is AB plus BC. Now number correspond to A, that is our xi. A is 30. See, the number correspond to B is 90. Number correspond to B, again we have seen 90, and C is 50. Now okay, so our path length or distance is 100 meter. Now speed is path length upon time. Now see, what is the total time from A to B and B to C? So the total time Okay, so here the speed will be path length upon time, 100 upon. Okay, now this is about the distance or a path length and speed. Now the displacement. Displacement, we know the shortest distance between 2 points. Now see our xi, that is initial position, is A and the final position is C. So this will be xf. Now what will be the displacement here? Xf minus xi. Okay. Now the number correspond to final position is 50, whereas number corresponding to initial position is 30. See, remember, displacement has nothing to do with the path followed. It has to do with the initial and final position only. So displacement, we know, is the shortest distance between 2 points. 50 minus 30 is 20 meters. Now the velocity. Velocity is displacement upon time. The displacement is 20 meters and the time is how much? 14 seconds. Okay, so you can say 10 upon 7 meter per second. Okay, so this is how we can calculate velocity also. So this is regarding the velocity and speed. Okay, now this we consider a motion in a one dimension. We take another example to calculate speed and velocity. Again, recall the case we have discussed earlier. 0, again we say east and west, x-axis and x-dash. Now see the object at t is equal to 0, it is x0, moves to b, 6 meters. Now it moves in the north direction by 8 meters and finally reaches to C. So again it moves in A, B, C direction. So this is our initial position and this is the final position. Now let us say the time taken to move from A to B is 4 seconds and from B to C is 8 seconds. So what is the total time here? Now here also we have to calculate distance or a path length, then we have to calculate speed, we have to calculate displacement and velocity both. Now first we start with the path length. Path length we have seen, or a distance we have seen earlier, is AB plus BC. Okay, now speed is path length upon time interval. Path length is how much? 14 meters and time we are given as 12 seconds. Okay, so this is how we can calculate speed. Now next we have to calculate displacement and velocity. Now we know the displacement is the shortest distance between 2 points. So the shortest distance between point A, see the path followed is ABC, but xi is A, that is initial position, xf is the final position that we have seen. Now AC will be the shortest distance, it will be our displacement. Again we can say it is. Okay, now see the time remains the same, so the velocity we can find out. This displacement. Displacement is how much? 10. Okay, so this is how we can know about distance, speed, displacement and velocity. Now see in this example what we have seen, the object moves on ABC path. So the distance AB and BC are given as 6 and 8 meter. So what we have calculated distance or the path length is 6 plus 8, 14 meter. Now let us say the time given here is for AB it is 4 seconds and for BC is 8 seconds. So total time is 12 seconds. Now here calculate distance is 6 plus 8, that is 14 meter, and the speed is path length upon time, that is 14 upon 12, that is 7 by 6 meter. Now this the displacement, we know the shortest distance is AC, that we have calculated 10 meter. Time again will be 12 seconds. So the velocity is displacement upon time. This is how we can obtain the velocity. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this lecture. Okay, first you make a note of this lecture, and if you have any query you can call me or WhatsApp me on this my number. See, if you want to receive more material on this topic, just send me hi on this number, and you subscribe my channel so you can receive the subsequent lectures also. Thank you.